29-year-old LeBron James announced on Friday in an essay to the sports news magazine Sports Illustrated that he was returning to his hometown Cleveland Cavaliers, where he spent the first 6 seasons of his career before leaving for Miami, where he won 2 championships in 4 seasons with a much more talented lineup that included Dwayne Wade. The announcement was not as dramatic as the self-proclaimed decision that LeBron had in 2010, in which many saw as a public relations nightmare and a slap in the face to his hometown Cleveland fans. In that program, he famously or infamously stated that he was taking his talents to Miami, which resulted in TV cameras broadcasting his jersey being burned on the streets of Cleveland and Cavaliers owner Dan Gilbert blasting him publicly in a letter where he slammed LeBron's decision and rather comically stated the Cavs would win a title before LeBron would in Miami. I mean, they pretty much were headed to the lottery and actually got a couple first picks. For the next 4 years, LeBron was at the center of attention in the sports media as many initially speculated on whether he could ever win a title or whether he would just continue to choke in big games as he did in the past. Finally, LeBron broke through the hump and won back-to-back titles in 2012 and 2013. He won back many fans, and he was regarded as the greatest player in the game and by some estimates the greatest NBA player to ever live. However, he lost the title this year to the San Antonio Spurs and in a surprise decision chose to return to his hometown Cleveland Cavaliers. This time in a much more low-key Friday morning essay to Sports Illustrated that nonetheless dominated social media and water cooler chatter for the rest of the day and surely for months to come. I believe the decision by LeBron James at this point in time was his own decision. Whether he actually wrote the essay or not is up for debate, and I'll admit after reading the essay for the first time this afternoon, I almost had a tear or two and some goosebumps. Then I realized how pathetic I was, and I didn't decide to pursue years of education just to become a guest on the Mike Huckabee Show audience. The media's actions in this fiasco are in violation of the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution. This amendment is unique in that it pertains to private parties and not government actors, as the Constitution typically regulates. The 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution states that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. The courts have interpreted this to mean that no one should be forced into performing a task or tasks, regardless of the amount of payment for the task or even regardless of whether the person is paid at all. For example, if you hire a TV repairman so you can watch LeBron choke on national TV, you cannot force him to repair the TV or even force him to do it by the time LeBron chokes because it would be tantamount to involuntary servitude bordering on slavery. The guy doesn't want to do it. Now, of course, if you had a contract with the guy, you can sue him for money damages, but you can't make him repair that TV. Now, LeBron is a big boy getting paid big boy bucks, but the media, especially social media, with a bunch of miserable jokers who have nothing better to do than spew innuendo all day, has been especially tough on the guy while he was playing in Miami. People were rooting for the guy to lose, and most people know the guy says he is one of those people who, or most people who know the guy at least, say he's one of those people who wants everyone to like him. This even affected him in Cleveland, where he won nothing, and affected him in Miami, where he won 2 titles in 4 tries with a team that many considered to be one of the greatest teams ever assembled in organized team sports history. After the Heat fell to the Spurs in this year's finals, the mockery heightened to an all-new level, and LeBron caved in, returning to Cleveland with the realization that he'll look like a hero again and bring that city its first professional sports championship ever, which is part of the problem in the first place. Now, I don't really care about LeBron James. He may or may not have orchestrated the whole fiasco, and even if he didn't, he's on track to be the first billionaire athlete. What is important to understand, however, is the dangerous nature of the media today. The 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution was created as a result of the American Civil War to end slavery, a phenomenon where blacks were forced into labor with little or no pay. The amendment applies to all races and genders of human beings and restricts forcing someone to work. The media, especially the basic cable TV network CNN, has been championing equality causes, yet the irony is that the media should do an introspective analysis. They are running with social media stories based on Twitter tweets and Facebook posts, since that's how they get ratings. But by doing so, they are promoting what they supposedly are trying to eradicate. They are forcing someone to do what they want, the media wants, not what he necessarily wants. In this case, it's play basketball or for an NBA team in Cleveland, Ohio. If this pattern continues, it will resonate throughout all of society and affect people who the laws were designed to protect. People with a lot less options and financial resources, like some billionaire joker who shoots baskets and performs in cheesy commercials for a living. As we have seen in many court cases recently, including the other NBA fiasco regarding Los Angeles Clippers owner Donald Sterling, the media influences the courts and rules. By entangling themselves with the legal system created by the government and forcing people to work, they are violating the 13th Amendment involuntary servitude clause and possibly a few other amendments that I don't want to waste your time with at this point. Once again, the media has lowered the hatchet on someone when the hatchet should really ricochet and hit the media back in the face.